welcome to the Astro Imaging Journey channel. Please enjoy the episode. Hello, and welcome back to my Astro Imaging Journey channel. And in this episode, we're going to be going over a custom QHY Polemaster mounting attachment. So, if you remember in the last video, I discussed how I was going to, well, one of the last videos when I was setting up the the Celestron CGX mount that I just received, how I was going to attach the Polemaster to it, and we'll get into that right now. On cloudy nights, there's a couple different ways. You can either make your own custom bracket if you're so inclined. ADM, I believe, has a mount an attachment that will connect to the dovetail, and then the Polemaster mounts to that, but it's not over where you would normally expect it to be, because you want it right in the middle of the RA axis. It doesn't mean it won't work. Other people have used it with success. But that's another thing that's up on the OTA. So, that was where I was going to go until I read I saw a video about what I'm going to show you. And there's a user on Cloudy Nights. His username is 40:26, and he apparently 3D prints a custom mount that will attach to the front of the CGX and CGX L, and then a bracket that goes out and around the carrying handle for the Polemaster to sit right where it needs to sit to be at the center of the RA axis. So with that, let's unbox this thing and then we'll install it. So, small little box. You wouldn't expect it to be too big. I mean, the Polemaster's kind of small, so not too much rattle. That's good. Less than a pound, about half a pound. That's not too bad. The ordering process was pretty painless. From the way I understand it, if he's got one available and printed, he will put it up on Cloudy Nights, like I said. Search for his username and you'll see the classifieds that he has, if there's one available. Feel free to purchase it if you need one, if you think this will work for you. And it was painless. I messaged him, said I'm interested in it. He sent me a reply, said here's my PayPal information, sent him the payment. He replied within half an hour, I believe. And then I sent the payment, and shortly thereafter, I want to say within the hour, he had already supplied a tracking number, and it was here in a couple days. It was shipped USPS first class. So, yeah. So let's unbox and see what we got. As always, my PSA, where possible, always open away from you. So I will close the knife to keep it safe. And okay, so put the box off to the side. And wrapped in bubble wrap. Come on, focus in, there we go. Should get it into the camera frame so you can see it. There we go. So we'll put the bubble wrap off to the side. And this is what we have. There we go. So as you can see, we've got the mounting holes for the QHY, center ring. This end down here will attach to the mount. The carrying handle will go through the middle, and then the QHY will sit in front of the carrying handle. Now the question is, why, how are you going to use that carrying handle if this is mounted? Well, it separates. Hopefully we can get this in focus. You can see there's a couple magnets right here, and they fit inside these little sleeves, and it just snaps right in, which is really nice because I left my QHY on the CGM on all the time, and that was, always had the cable just hang, on the tray. It was out there. I always had the cover on it. It wasn't that big of a deal, but I could have used the set screw or the locking screw and took it off each time I needed to, but then you got to get it back on there and play with the set screw. And when we're talking about wanting to get going and imaging, hey, a few seconds here and there, if you can save it, we'll do it. And this will be nice because it's attached, and this stays on the mount at all times. Transport it out there. I'm not worrying about the cable. I'm not worrying about the camera. I'm not worrying about anything else. Set the mount in place. When I'm ready, pop that on there, hook it up to my laptop. We're good to go. Which actually, need to look. I think I might have extra port available. I might be able to do it on the I'll probably still use the laptop. I'm not sure if I'll use the remote PC, since I have to remote into it to be able to use it. So we'll see that. We'll see how that works. But for now, I think I'll just take my laptop out there, snap this in place. Like I said, it's secure. It feels pretty robust. It's kind of thick. If you can look at my finger here, that back edge, it's almost my finger width. It feels well constructed. Get my head out of there. There we go. It feels pretty well constructed. And in my other hand, we've got a couple screws. There we go. We got a couple screws. So there's a little cover. There's a little cover, and we take two of the screws out so that we can mount this, and then replace those screws with these. So really nice that he includes those as well. So far, I am impressed. I was a little bit apprehensive about it being 3D printed, but Looks like everything is pretty well constructed. So yeah, looks like it might actually be done in two pieces. I'm seeing a little bit of a line right here. And then I'm seeing a screw here and a screw here. So maybe he prints this in two pieces, this piece over here and this piece over here, and then mates them together with these two screws, rather than one continuous print. And you know, I've never done 3D printing, so I'm not sure if you would be able to do this type of a shape, especially coming out like this, without having to do it as a two-part or two-piece assembly. But yeah, so far I'm impressed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go install it, and we'll see how easy it is. And then when it comes time to, well, we'll install this, and then when it comes time to put the mount outside and replace the C-gem, I will put the Polemaster on here. And so yeah, I like it. So far, I'm happy. Excellent. So with that, see you in a few. All right, so here we are. We're ready to attach our mount, our Polemaster mount, to our CGX mount. And it really doesn't matter either way. What we're going to do is, you can see this bolt right here. There's one on the other side over here. We're going to take these two out. We're going to leave these two up. And we're just going to take this base plate, and it's going to fit right inside there. So let me undo these. I mean, in all intents, in all honesty, yes, I could pull these four bolts off, and I could find some way of attaching the Polemaster to our central axis right here, but this solution looks just as good. So let me pull these off. There we go. Two short little bolts, not focusing in, but that's okay. And then we're just going to take, hopefully we can focus in, please. There we go. You can see that there's just a little bit of a recess. Let me get my hand behind it there. That's actually going to recess down inside where those nuts came off. So we're going to just pop that on there real quick. And then we're going to take the two bolts that 4026 supplied. These two right here. The shadow. There we go. And we're going to attach this right here. Now these are different size hex heads, so if you've been in this hobby long enough, you'll probably recognize something of that effect there. Come on, focus in. There we go. It's a Allen key set. Most of the sizes you would need. Actually, I have several of them. We're just going to get them as close as we can with our fingers. And it doesn't need to be super tight, just snug up. After all, this is 3D printed. It's not metal. It does look durable, but we don't want to break it. So I'm just going to snug it up. There we go. Just don't want it coming loose on me, that's all. And now, when it comes time to use our Polemaster, we will just slide it over, and there we go. Polemaster will mount on here. So when I get a chance to get out there tomorrow, hopefully, and connect or swap out the CGM with the CGX L, hopefully you've already seen that video. We'll move the Polemaster from the CGM onto this here. It's got our 3 mounting screws, and then after that, when we're done getting our polar alignment, we can just pull this off, store this away, and our Polemaster can stay warm and dry inside while the rest of the gear is nice and cold outside. But I definitely like that that comes right over where our axis is. So let me undo the clutch, and yeah, it's right where it needs to be. And of course, I don't have any weight up here, so it's feeling a little heavy. But, all right. So with that, I'm gonna say I will see you in a little bit, a few seconds video time, but it might be a day or two real time to mount up our Polemaster. So, see you in a couple. And welcome back. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take our QHY Polemaster that I pulled off the mounts, and we will put it onto the adapter plate. So as you can see here, get out of here and so it'll focus. So we got we'll have 3 screws. There's one over here, and then one on the top. We'll need to take those off to remove this mounting brace right here. So that's easily done with a Phillips. And come on, focus in. Anyways, we just unscrew them and set those off to the side. We got one more. I probably should have taken the cable off, but it's perfectly fine. And then one last screw here. And our mounting plate comes off just like that. Now we'll attach it here. As you can see, there it goes. You can see it's got 3 screw points there. They should match up pretty good. Yep. So we just drop in, screw into one of the holes. Now what I like to do is I like to, come on, see how it sticks out just a touch? I like to do one where I'll get it married in, just like that, and then start it. And then the other 2 should drop in pretty quickly. If you get them lined up right, then the other 2 will pop right in. And we're good to go. So now just snug these up. Now, one of the things we had when we had it on the CGM, and I know I'm cutting my head off here, was the way the cable was oriented. Either as you're looking at the mount, so as I'm looking at you, my left, your right, you know, that's the way the cable should have been. So if it was on the mount like this, the cable goes that way. And, you know, when I first did it, I had it going the other way because that was more representative of what I would see if I was looking from behind the mount, where the trees were on the bottom instead of the top. But then you had to remember that you had to reverse everything. So down was up and up was down, and left was right, right was left, and that. So you know, that became a little bit of a pain to remember that. And then when I mounted it this way, I just had to remember that, yep, it's not going to be the way I envision it when I look from behind the telescope. But if I need to move the star right, I just have to do the right adjustments. Same with up and down. And that made it so much easier. Now with this, the way these are, if you'll notice, I put it on the side with the bracket here. And see if we can get this in the background. So you got the bracket here, and I got the cable coming off of that side. Now, it really doesn't matter. I mean, I could have it on this side, because the way this snaps into the mount, you know, the handle's going to go through here. So as long as I had either this way or that way, which if we rotate, it's only going to rotate a third, then yeah, then it would either be down this way or up that way, and then, you know, that would offer some extra challenges. So my recommendation is, you got your handle here, or this brace right here, put your cable, the USB connection, that way. And that way, if you prefer the connection to be on the east side of the mount, and so that the adjustment you make, you know, if the star needs to go up, then you move up. You know, it would be good as long as you snap this back in with it to the east. If you prefer it to the west, then you can snap it into the west, and it'll perfectly fine either way. I would not recommend putting this in any of the other positions, because if we look at it, it would only be able to mount in 3 different positions, and this would either be here or up here, going that direction, and making adjustments based off of those 2 geometries would be an exercise in futility. Or if you're able to do it, then more power to you. But I'm going to go with what was working for me: cable connection to the east side of the mount, and we'll snap it in that way. So with that, this is, you know, all I got to do now is just, okay, I've never had that happen before, but the camera shut off automatically due to slow write speed on the card. I have been having a little bit of problem with the card not being recognized when I first power on, so maybe my memory card is failing, so I'll have to look into that. So hopefully, where do I think I left off was, yeah, so recommendation, cable connection, east side, and that's the way I would go. So with that, I'm going to try to get this working tonight. Hope it's supposed to be clear. It did clear up while I was out there earlier, and we will see. If so, then I'll be able to polar align the new mounts and hopefully get some imaging in. So yeah, so with that, I'm going to say thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, clear skies and have a good one. Thank you for watching yet another video from the Astrometry Junior channel. Really appreciate your viewership. In our upper right, we have the latest video we've uploaded. In our lower right, we have what YouTube might think you would enjoy. And in the lower left is our subscription button. Please like this video, subscribe if you so choose. As always, clear skies, have a good one, and remember Duke.